How many
See if
albums
it
they have?
works.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I think I have 19 albums.
Whoa, 19?
Like I said, if I pick them, like we probably want to end the season after that.
Now then we got to
It-
do the Weezer special.
yes, exactly.
God.
I'm not really listening to a single fucking song. It's gonna be live reactions only. Fuck that shit.
Okay, let's see. Brown Midi. Jesus Christ.
Okay, Bjork did gangbusters compared to Grimes, but we still
I
haven't
almost
reached the
posted that to the
peaks of
Mutation
Radiohead.
Vacation account.
Oh Jesus.
Join the stream.
Uh, So I think what I'm noticing is that as soon as we removed incel, the streams fucking fell off. Uh, cannot believe Radiohead is our most popular. Does it have any comments? Subscribed and put the bell on. Good job on the tutorial. Hope to see more soon. That's a bot for sure, right?
Probably.
Because what do you mean? Oh my god, my old room. Wait, no, that's this room. Holy shit. Oh my god, it's like a cursed time capsule. What the fuck?
Alright. Posted the socials.
Hell
Let's see.
yeah. Oh, we're live?
Yeah.
Only it was just rambling.
I mean, I don't think anybody's watching, so.
Yeah, true, true.
Oh, no, Krish is here.
Krish.
Greep is my sworn enemy. God.
Hi, Krish. Did Jaw tell you that we might have a Christmas present for you? A Christmas present. Ah! Hell yeah.
This motherfucker started listening. What'd you say? You said you listened to like 4 Weezer albums yesterday? He's fucked. I'm being so dead ass. Krish is fucked in the head.
I will listen to the Weezer Christmas album too, and we'll include that because we put it in Holly Jolly tier. Which after
Green, Make
hearing,
Believe, Ratitude, and Hurley.
oh god,
What else did Krish said? What did he say?
OKH. What is OKH? Which album is that? Am I losing?
Okay, Human.
Oh, okay, Human. Wait, that's not in order. The ones I listen to the least. Oh, next is Black. Okay, Human should not be in the same discussion as these other
He's like, it's
albums.
taking all my willpower not to skip Love is the Answer. As an Indian, it's ear torture.
um, yeah, but we should include the
God.
Christmas album songs
Yeah, we
because
have to.
have you seen The Bear?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
One of them is on the Bear soundtrack.
No, the Christmas one?
Yeah, and it's a really good song. I was like, "What is this? What is this song?" It's on their like Christmas
Uh-oh.
episode, and it was good.
I remember they started playing fucking
Deluxe
Get You
track.
in one of the episodes.
I don't want to do deluxe tracks. How are we? Well, there's probably a pre-made
Yeah,
bracket
we'll
that we'll
figure
find.
that out.
I like how there's like people watching this being like, "What the like
Dude,
this is not an
Krish's
announcement."
that just shows Krish's obsession with Weezer, founder of the Weezer Club. Sick bastard.
Yeah. For context, we'll announce this at the end. To anyone watching, but we have a special event cooking.
Okay. I'd say we got 4 viewers. What the fuck? All right, I think we're
I,
good.
yeah. Anticipated artists. I'm ready.
Okay. Oh God. Let me pull out the sheet.
Oh, yeah, we get to explain the nightmare.
Oh yeah, we'll start with that. We'll start with
Yeah,
the score we made.
you're probably gonna want to screen share the.
Okay. You'll see all my all my ratings.
Oh, I thought you can screen share just the explanation doc if you
Oh,
want.
what was that one?
It's shared with you.
Remember which one it was. Okay, I found it.
Yeah.
What account is this though? It's my real. Okay, it's that one. Okay.
No.
I'm gonna
I
move
bet
this off the
we're
stream for a
gonna
sec just in case some
leak
random
your
shit pops
email
up.
real quick.
Okay, Google Docs. Great, it's not popping up. That's fucking awesome.
I'm changing it to anyone with the link can view it. So if you want to, I'll just put the link in the chat so you can open it on the other account. In fact, anyone in the stream will be able to open this. Oh, you figured it out.
Yeah. So we made the Greep score. I still don't understand why we had 16 overall points, but that doesn't matter.
Because it has to be weird. It has to be
That's
kind
so
of
true.
off, It's like we wanted to weight things fairly, and it just happened to add up to 16. So,
Yeah.
after the last stream, we talked about it, and I said that because it was a short, like, discography, I was going to create, like, another complicated ass rating system, like I did for King Gizzard with the lizard score. And Jaw seemed interested in it, so we decided to make it together and use it as our rating system. So this is the explanation. We have Jordacity. Um, it had to be Greep. Greep had to be the acronym. So what the title of each score section is not really that accurate. Yeah.
We had songwriting and vocal performance quality. I think I kind of looked over that. I also said if I felt like a song was creepy, I added I
That's
added
fair.
Jordacity to it as well.
Then we have riffs, which is kind of just the guitars. It's not
Yeah,
necessarily riffs in general, and also just like
yeah,
instruments.
that was important.
Uh, yeah. So we kind of eclecticism changed a lot for me.
Yeah,
Like we started it as like how unique it is, how many styles they bring in, but some of their really good songs are just like pretty straightforward. So to me, it kind of just became like how well everything comes together.
mm.
Like it became more cohesion. I don't know.
I tried to stick to that, and then
Okay.
the one of the albums kind of got a lot of higher ratings because of this one.
Oh, interesting. This was one of the ones that was kind of a gimme, where it was like most songs got like between 1.5 and 2. Um, and then there's some stinkers.
We have the best ever TBE or ever the best to make it fit with E,
Yeah,
which is just like how we'd rate it out of 5, how much we actually like it.
I kept multiplying it by 2 in my head to see if it still made
Yeah.
sense. Because rating out of 5 is weird. And then percussion, which I'm convinced Morgan Simpson is the goat. So at
Yeah.
almost every song was a free two. Like any song he was on. He's such a good drummer.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Rhythm. So we got our GREEP score. Greep.
Yep. Why is my face blurry? Oh no.
No.
Okay. It's fixed.
Okay. I guess we
Nice.
can get into it. So we decided to cover all the singles and the albums and the EPs. So I think there's like 6
Boy.
singles.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Also, just for fun, I decided to just listen to everything they'd ever released. So there were two extra songs on mine.
Really? What
But
else do
we
they
shouldn't
have?
rank them because they're both like F tier. Um, they're featured on Ice Cream on the It's Bricksmiths
Oh,
like Christmas
yeah.
album, and that's the song that's referenced on track X. I think or it's the fucking Black Country New
The
Roads
guess.
road song that mentions Black Midi. It's
Mm,
like told you I loved you in front of Black
that's
Midi is
fucked.
the
That's
lyric. And
fucked.
and that's the fucking song that
That's
was being performed.
disgusting.
Um and then I listened to a song that they're featured on by an artist called Dos Siki. The song's called Estrus. It's like a Japanese rap group that they toured with in Europe, and it kind of sucked. So,
Damn.
ever the best is wild, but we
It
make do.
fits. It works. Now we have
Yeah.
the TDE at the top.
Uh-huh. And all is right in the world.
Yep.
So that's my special bonus tracks. They were not worth telling you about because they weren't worth ever listening to again.
Dear God.
They were both 5 on the scale.
Jesus.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what is it? I picked it, so that means you start it, right?
Yeah. Okay. And I think you said you were excited for me to listen to Crow's Perch.
I was excited to listen to the singles. I think the singles are
Yeah.
good.
They're pretty solid
I
overall.
think for singles that
Um
aren't on albums, it's better than most artist discographies.
damn. I would agree with later singles. This Crow's Perch, really liked the vocals and like the bass um and stuff kind of came together in a unique way, but it was a little rough around the edges. Like it was very much like first single.
Yeah, and it
So
is their first single.
yeah, I think based on oh fuck. When I set up the spreadsheet, I only included like the percent maker for the releases. So the singles, I'm like doing the math in my head. I think that
Well,
a
it says the
10
total
point,
at the end.
yeah. Well, I know, but it's like what tier would that be based on
Oh yeah,
percent,
yeah.
right? I think it would be C tier because it's 10.6 my
Mmm.
overall rating. So I think C tier is fair for this.
Damn. I like Crows. I like Crow's Perch. I think it's like, I think it's just such a crazy song to release as like your first thing ever. Um, I think he almost sounds annoying, but I kind of like it. I don't know why. And it's just like a really crazy song overall. Um, I think I gave it like I guess in my thing it would have been like a B. So
A B.
yeah,
Yeah,
for
I
me it's
agree
just
with the
like
annoying part.
loud and crazy.
It is loud and crazy. I need to do like a fucking little addition here. I'm fine with putting it in B now, but I might
Okay.
revisit it once I set up this thing on my spreadsheet really
Shit.
quick. That'll tell me like uh, do the math because
Mm.
it's hard. Um, yeah, I definitely agree with the part of it being an insane first single. I think if I'd heard it when it came out or like when they
Yeah.
only had one album out, because I learned about them when they just had Schlagenheim out.
Mm.
I probably might have more fondness for it, but it's like compared to the rest of their discography, it's like a little
Yeah.
underdeveloped.
Yeah.
So,
Baseline goes hard.
all right,
All right. Talking
you're up to
Heads.
Talking Heads.
This is I don't really like this one. I think this one I think is where it's just kind of like I don't think it's like it's just like I compared to like all their other releases, I don't think it stands out in any real way for me. Um I guess out of like the early singles, I think this is definitely like the weakest one. Um It should. I think it's just, it's like fine. I don't really care for it though, and I don't know if I can really pinpoint anything about it. I feel like it's more forgettable than their other stuff.
Okay. It wasn't the weakest of the singles for me, but it was second weakest. I had it only slightly under Crow's Perch. Because I think it was the riffs are really cool on it. And they kind of stand out among the rest of the song being kind of mid. So I would have it in C,
Okay,
along but under Crow's Perch for sure. So I'm fine with.
we'll throw it in C for right now.
Mhm. Would you have had it lower, like in D, or no?
Um, Probably not. I honestly I don't even know if I would put anything in D. So
Interesting, interesting.
all right, and then I guess if we're moving on, it's on to the first album.
Yeah. And also I figured out the math, and yeah, I would have Crow's Perch in C.
All right,
But I'm fine with it where it is.
all right.
So album one, is that
Yeah,
me to talk
yeah, yeah.
about? Oh, I didn't practice saying Schlockenheim the way he does enough to say it to do it justice, but listen to of Schlockenheim, everyone to hear the most absurd pronunciation of any word ever, pretty much. Um, there's a lot of that on this album. There's a lot of really cool stuff on this album. Um, I think Near Detroit, Michigan is my favorite track. It's one of my favorite Black Mini tracks ever.
Flint representation.
When yeah, that's it. The lyrics are sick as fuck. Um, re-listening, I don't even know where to begin. It's hard to describe because they came out just like swinging with this one. It doesn't sound like any other artist that I'd ever heard when I listened to it. Now, like having listened to it so many times, I can hear their influences for sure. Um, but it still comes out as something so unique. Um, Particularly the drumming on this one, I would say is the best of all the albums. The drums on this thing, like the drumming is insane. The only complaints I have on some of the tracks is the way that the drums are mixed doesn't draw enough attention to how insane the playing is. Uh, it's just so fucking sick. So many iconic tracks, and I think it loses points for like not being as cohesive as some other stuff they've released. Like the way it comes together, like it kind of jumps around. There's some dissonance that doesn't like. Oh yeah, that's something I wanted to talk about. Is they have a lot of like walls of sound in their music where they're just playing so intensely and so loudly and dissonantly that the first time you hear it, it's overwhelming and you can't really parse out what the like elements in it are. And so on repeat listens, like when you can make out what is what, sometimes it's like, oh, that's a great wall of sound. Like they really cooked there. There's like cool stuff going on. It's really subtle. And then there's other walls of sound where it's like this is just like they kind of went crazy, improvised, and it didn't come together. And I think that this album has a bit of both. There's some wall of sounds that are kind of tough. I would say Years Ago is probably the weakest track on the album for me
That's
because of
actually
that.
the only song where that other guy sings on it.
Wait, what other guy?
Years ago. So there was the original fourth
Oh,
member of
the
Black
four.
Midi.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like the other guy. Yes, I didn't realize he sang. That
Yeah,
explains
yeah,
why the
yeah, yeah.
fucking
Because
vocals are
I
so
thought I thought it
annoying.
was the bassist originally, and then I looked into it and
Me
no, it was the
too.
other guy.
Yeah. It's a little bit of a stinker on an otherwise very good to great album that overall is like solid A tier. They have clear areas to go up from here, but it's a fantastic listen. I can talk more about individual track standouts after you go too.
Okay. So this originally used to be my favorite Black Midi album. Um, and after listening to so many, I realized that was not the case anymore. But I feel like considering like a band's debut album, like this was just fucking insane to come out. Like this is what we're gonna be doing, having all that doesn't sound like so many other fucking things that were coming out at the time. And I almost like it's like it almost just had like this status, like that was like their first album, and it was just fucking wild that they were putting this out. Um, I would almost like with some friends, I would just like put this album on just to like freak them out. Like I would want to make them uncomfortable and be like, all right guys, I'm putting on Black Midi, and they'd all start groaning. Um, and I'd be like, guys, she like moves with a purpose, and then I'd put on
For the power
Boom
best.
Boom Boom.
Isn't it
Uh,
BM like Black Midi, Black
it's
Midi, Black
no,
Midi?
it's actually Boom Boom Boom,
Why is it boom boom boom?
boom, 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 boom.
I hate that. The song loses a point.
I had actually opened up one of my band shows with that song. We
That's
we
awesome.
we played at like the Frida, and we put it on in the background, and it had like red flashing lights, and we walked on to fucking boom boom boom. It was awesome.
It's such an iconic track. That's actually
Uh,
the note I have. It's
uh, yeah, I think what is it? Boom boom boom. Um, Western near Detroit, Michigan, and Doctor. Those are like my favorite. I think those are just like all like just really cool,
the fuck.
great fucking songs.
Those are also my top, like in order. Those
Yeah,
are my top rated.
yeah.
Although I also really like reggae. I think it's a pretty
Damn,
underrated
I
track.
I didn't like reggae as much. I think Reggae Speedway and Years Ago are my lowest
Dang.
ones.
Speedway is also my second lowest. So I don't know. Something about reggae. It stands out from the album, like it's different
Yeah,
from the rest for sure. Um, it's kind of it's like maybe the electioneering of
electioneering. God fucking damn it.
where I just like it and other people are like, "Ugh."
God.
But
Yeah. Yeah, you
I
should.
also
Were you saying?
oh no, you go.
I was just gonna like say again that like it was just like I think this is like the best introduction you can get to like Black Midi and
Yeah,
kind of like
it
all
would
this
definitely be
crazy shit, prepare you for whatever the fuck they have coming later in their discography. Again, I think we hit another like artist where this is like just one of the best debuts that we've listened to
I'm
from
trying to think if
this
there's a better
series.
one
Still,
because you
there's
said,
always Weezer. There's always Weezer. That one's still really
oh
good.
fuck, this
That's the
is
only other one.
that's the only one I would put above this. Uh, which I feel like if Geordie Greep heard that, he would vomit, be pissed. Uh, uh, I think the only other thing I want to mention on it is like the songwriting. Um, I think of yeah, of the albums, it has a different style of songwriting. There's a lot less storytelling on it. Like there's more abstract lyrical content. Not that there isn't stuff later, but I don't think like Geordie's style as a songwriter had fully
Yeah,
like formulated was fully formulated at this point. And so it was weird to rate that like in uh in comparison to later stuff where it's like holy shit, this is like an incredible story that's being told in the lyrics.
I think if Geordie just went crazy, that's when I raised the Jordacity score.
That's and I think that's why like Western and to some extent like Upschlagenheim
Dude,
and
UCI
Vector too.
reference, Anteater Town.
And Judy Town. They get like they got some bonus points here for like having like some crazy lore, some storytelling in them. And I think that's yeah, something that you get glimpses of
Hmm.
what was to come here with those tracks. Where would you have it?
I would definitely have it in A.
Okay, awesome. I'm glad we agree there. Because when you said it used to be your favorite, I was like, oh,
They
uh-oh,
used to. It used
uh-oh.
to. Now
Okay.
it's so it's like every time I come back to them, I have like a different favorite album, which is just
Yeah,
like that's just so awesome.
I think mine stayed the same on the on this.
Mm.
I think it was solidified actually.
All right,
You're up
onto the
next.
next
7-Eleven.
single. So this was one of the singles I think that was like a extra track on the Japan releases. So
Um,
7-Eleven was an extra track on Schlagenheim. Um, and this is their Black Midi or Black Country New Road song, in my opinion. Um, kind of like just starts like kind of like simple and then like builds towards the ends and have like all the horns and everything. Um, I think it's a good song. I wasn't completely blown away by it, but I think it's good. I mean, I can understand why they didn't include it on like the regular album and had it as an extended uh, track. Um, I know Rico's gonna hate me for that because apparently that's his favorite Black Midi song of all time, which is kind of crazy. But
sorry, the horns? There's horns on
I
this? I don't
swear,
remember
there's
there
the
being
huge
any horns.
ending part where it's like bound down, 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 down. Maybe it's not horns. Maybe it's the
Yeah,
sitar. I swear to God, it
okay.
was horns though.
I'm glad that it wasn't on the album. Do you have anything else to add
No, there's
before
definitely horns. There's definitely horns.
okay. I've well, I have to disagree.
Yeah.
I kind of hate this track.
Oh.
Hot take. Um, it's I don't know. I find it kind of corny,
Yeah.
like the lyrics of it, the
I don't listen to
story.
stuff. I don't listen. Oh, I can see that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's like, oh, I went into a 7-Eleven and he's like, don't get if you're not careful, you'll get hurt. And then I walked across the street and I got hit by a car. That's the whole thing. And then I expected when the like after he got
The
hit by
Good
a car
Rotten
for there to be
Tomatoes.
like a big explosion or like fucking some increase in the energy, but it's just a slow build throughout, and it's like that tilts me. It tilts
There's
me.
that huge part at the end.
No,
Yeah.
no, there isn't.
Yes, there
It
is.
no, it just gets louder. It doesn't. There's no change in like the type of instrumentation, and then it's slowly like it's not even at the end. It's like a minute before
Yeah.
the
And
end
then there's like
because
a
it
minute and a
slowly
half of
plays out. Yeah. No tempo change. Yeah. And I'm like so for me it's like not something I would ever revisit and it
damn.
scored significantly lower than any other single.
Damn.
Uh so I would have it this is probably the only thing I would have in D.
Mhm.
But
I had it as the same score as Crow's Perch.
as Crow's Perch.
Yeah, so I had it above Talking Heads. But I think if the rule is you get to technically choose.
Oh, true. I think C above Talking Heads because I'm understanding, like I'm not being very objective here. It's just like I want the song to be different than it is. So above above Talking Heads in C, I think is where
Okay.
I'd want it. Since you have it in B. Well, but since we have such a big fan, worth a listen. Check it out. It's not super long, unlike Sweater, the next
Hey,
song we have
hey.
to talk about. Which just went on for a long time. Um, and for such a long song with so few lyrics, it stayed pretty engaging to me. It had a similar thing as 7-Eleven, where the last like minute or two kind of dragged on. It was a very slow play out that didn't add a lot to the song. But unlike 7-Eleven, it did build to something kind of energetic and explosive that I really enjoyed. But it's like waiting waiting 5 to 6 minutes to get to that part of the song that I really like isn't something that like I'm
Sweater
willing to
sucks.
invest frequently. Um, but shout out Injury Reserve for sampling it to make Knees, because that's a sick track and it makes me like Sweater a lot.
I've never heard that.
You gotta listen to By the Time I Get to Phoenix, then it's one of the
Yeah.
best albums. Best albums, honestly. Better than the original. I kind of have to agree, but they're so different, you know? I mean, who can compare? I'm not sure what tier I'd have it though. I have to think
Mm.
about that. So maybe I'll think about that while you're.
So this was my favorite single.
Oh, okay.
Um, I think it's like it's weird. It's like really different. They hadn't done anything. I feel like it that at all up to that point. Um, and like I can definitely understand why people don't fuck with it, but I'm a big fan of it for some reason. Um, I don't think it's I if there's how many songs are there overall? If there's like
Like singles or
just songs in general,
we have wait one. Okay. There's like about 50.
I'd say it's definitely in like the top third. I think for me, um,
Top third.
I think it's
Uh
long. I think it's cool. It's weird. People don't get it. I think it's a fun. I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's like I shouldn't like it, but I do. I don't know what to
I'm not
say.
saying you shouldn't like it. I like it too. I
Well,
would have it
I feel like
above.
most people are like, what the like people are
Oh,
joking
okay.
around. They're like, oh, they got to play Sweater at their show.
If they played Sweater at their show, I would probably really enjoy it
They
live.
played it at
Um,
the LA show,
Damn, I'm sad I didn't get to go to that one.
3 hour
Yeah,
eras too. That was fucked.
I feel
I
like I
don't
got
think they
to go.
played the whole thing, but they definitely played a good chunk of it.
Nice.
Um, so yeah, I liked it. I
I
think. Or were we gonna say?
I was gonna say I would probably have it. I would definitely have it above Crow's Perch, but probably still in B.
That's what I was just gonna say.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah.
I feel that's I'm surprised because I know you really like it, but I'm willing
That
to
just shows how
later
much more I
on.
like the other stuff.
True. Okay. Yeah. Well, we'll see. Because you said it's the best of the singles, so
Yeah.
let's see what you think about Despair then.
Despair. Let me remember. Okay.
Oh, no, remember Despair?
I think I remember Despair, and I think it's another more forgettable single for me. Um, how does it go again? Yeah.
How does it go again? Yeah, no.
I think it's just like I think usually when I listen to this I also listen to
John.
Cavalcade because this is one of the this came out in the single with John L.
It's John 50. Come on.
So true. I forgot. For
I
the
always
longest time I
forget.
thought it was
It's
John
really
Lennon.
hard.
Um,
That's how I'm gonna refer to it forever,
um,
actually. shit.
Um, and I just kind of forget it. I think like at the time, if I listened to it, I'd be like, "Whoa, this is so crazy! They're doing such a crazy unique style." But then like, because Cavalcade kind of came out right after it, I think I just kind of forget about this song, and I don't care about it as much. I'm trying to think of where I would put it in like the order of singles. Yeah, I actually had it. I think it would have been below 7,
Well, you can see the
11 for me.
score.
Yeah.
Below
But I don't
7-Eleven.
think it's a C.
Fuck it
So
up.
I just think it's a fine single that didn't do it. I didn't hate it. I also didn't. I wasn't like, oh, that's pretty good. I was like, eh.
I remember when this came out. I remember listening to it on the Anteater Express.
You sick fuck.
I think we had met semi recently at this point. And I think you might have even been the one to like. I think you asked me if I'd heard the new Black Midi single, and I was like, "Oh shit, yeah, I think so." But then I saw that they'd added this single. I'd only heard John 50, and John 50, I was like, "That was a lot," and I'm really scared for the new album. I don't know if I'm gonna like it. And then I heard Despair, and I was like, "Oh, this is really pretty. I'm really excited for this album." Um, and then it was and then it wasn't on the album, and I was really sad, and I forgot about it until we re-listened, and then I was like,
Yeah.
oh, it's this song. This is the one, because I would literally get it like caught like stuck in my head. It was kind of an
Damn.
earworm for me, but I wouldn't know what like. I was like, why do I have this Black Midi song stuck in my head that I can't find anywhere because it's fucking buried for no reason, because it's a really good song and it should have been on the album
It's
because
on the
it's better. It
Japan
would.
release.
It's on the Japan release. What
Yeah.
fucking? We need to move to Japan. This is fucked up. It would be my second favorite song on Cavalcade if it was on the album.
That's crazy.
So I really like it, and I think it goes in A tier solidly for me.
Damn.
I would, but behind Schlagenheim.
Damn. I think I would put it at the end of B tier for me. You get the final say.
Let's put it top of B for
Okay.
now, and maybe move it around.
Okay.
Actually, looking at the others, like I have it solidly above the next single, and that one I would definitely want to put. Oh no. Hmm. We'll see.
Okay.
Okay, we'll just leave it there.
Okay.
Oh, I have to talk.
Should we do Cruising next or the album? Because that was just another
What
Japan.
was the release order? Oh, it was a
It's tech.
extended
Yeah,
track.
yeah.
I think we should do Cruising first, so
Okay.
that I'm not like ending up talking about every every album before
Okay.
you, so that you get to introduce
Okay.
Cavalcade. So, so for Cruising, again, why the fuck wasn't it on the album officially? It would have been my fifth favorite track
Damn.
song. I have would have had
Damn.
it below some of the better. Oh fucking yeah, I don't know. It's good. Um, it's I'm sorry. I'm trying not to like give spoilers on how I think about Cavalcade, because I realized I was about to talk a bunch about
Uh
Cavalcade to like give context for this, but um, this one is definitely more forgettable. But
yeah.
I also think it's very solid. I'd have to think about the tier I'd want to put it, because I feel like my score might be a bit inflated because I was like really enjoyed it and was mad it wasn't on the album. So what do you think?
Cruising overall. I think I really liked it when I first listened to it, and then listened to it again. I didn't like it as much. I think it's another like fine song. I did like Despair a bit more. There's also I don't even remember. There's like some song they have like the do 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 part at the end, and it reminds me of some other song. And it almost like makes me nostalgic for it, but I like don't remember what song or like what riff that other one came from. But I feel like this song might go on slightly too long, and so I like it a little bit less. Um, and I think this is another like kind of more forgettable song for me personally.
I think it's fair. I just re-listened to it and I was like, oh yeah, it was that one. Whereas, which is I I hadn't ever heard it before doing this, so that definitely affects it. But yeah, it is hard to rate.
I think
Uh,
right now I'd put it like bottom of B.
um, yeah, with the actual like number score that I gave it, and uh, fucking despair, they should both be an A. But
Damn,
like,
damn.
I think I want to put it in between sweater and crow's perch,
Okay.
and then move despair up to A, because re-listening, it does go on a little long.
Yeah.
It has some flaws, but I do come back to despair. I kept wanting to listen to it, so I think this is good.
Valentine.
You know, it's
All right, we're on to the next one.
yes, you get to introduce Cavalcade.
Cavalcade.
The dogs are going crazy. I'm gonna mute for.
All right, this album does something to me. I don't know what it does, but it does something. Um, unfortunately, I don't think there's like what. I think there's only 3 Black Midi songs I don't like, and we already talked. I think Reggae, Talking Heads, and Hogwash and Boulder Dash are
Fuck that
my
song.
least favorite songs. I still like Talking Heads. I think is still my least favorite out of all of them. But Hogwash and Balderdash is pretty low.
But what about
There,
years ago? Didn't you
what
also not like? Didn't you also not like
I
years
had it
ago?
higher. I
Oh,
like parts of it, but I think
okay.
there's sometimes where it's just like like let me think of another great classic album. In Rainbows, I think that would be a much better album if Videotape wasn't on the album. It's still like my top like 5 top 3, maybe my favorite album of
Crazy
all
take,
time.
wild
But
take.
I don't like videotape. And I feel like for me almost
Save it for the Radiohead stream.
we already did the Radiohead stream.
Thank you.
The Cavalcade, I think is another one of like just my favorite albums of all time somehow. And it's where it's like every other song I think on there is so great that I can be like, all right, they can be they can be little shitters and trolls by throwing Hogwash and Balderdash on there because I think the other songs on it like make up that much more for me. I personally I think that's when they started getting into their like more theatrics and kind of like orchestral sounds and adding all these layers. But they also have some songs that still kind of like hone in on the Schlagenheim sound, and I think it's kind of like that perfect mix of like all like the crazy stuff as well as like the more intricate like songwriting structure, and so still sounding like very early Black Midi and like also having like this newer sound that kind of like I think was like the perfect mix between the two. Um, and I love the album a lot, and I think the only other song that I actually don't like as much, and it's still fine, is John 50. I can talk about some of the rankings for the other ones after you talk, but this is definitely my favorite Black Midi album.
Oh, I was a little worried going into the stream because I was like, there's a possibility since there's so few albums that we just like are fully not on the same page.
Uh oh.
Um, I think I fully agree with you On the what? Like it feels to me like a transitional album where they hold on to some of that early like wildness, but also start to bring in the more theatrical stuff. There's a lot more jazz influence on this album. There are more of the like storytelling songs. John 50, Marlene Dietrich being
Marlene
some of the
Dietrich's one of my
biggest example.
favorites of all time from them.
Yep, it got almost a perfect score for me. Um, Ascending Forth also has like a cool story to it. But my takeaway of the quality is kind of different, where I feel like it being a transitional album hurts it. Uh, I would say side A on this album is like high A, possibly S for me. Like some really, really great stuff. Up until Diamond Stuff, and then that
Oh,
song is like, I think it's pretty but boring. Like I just don't want to listen to it, even though I can be like, yeah, it's good. Like there's nothing wrong with it artistically, but I don't enjoy listening to it. And I kind of feel that way about the entire second half of the album.
no!
Uh, and I actively really dislike Hogwash and
Yeah.
Balderdash. Like without that, it could even still be like an A tier album for me. But with that song, like alone
No!
almost brings it down to B for
No!
me. So I don't know how the fuck we're gonna deal with this.
God. I love I think my favorite Black Midi song of all time is actually Ascending Forth.
What?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's like it's almost like a bit song.
It's so good. It's so I don't know. That song does something to me.
That's like the
That's the
least
only one with a
expected.
perfect score for me.
What?
Yeah, it has a 16.
That's
Ascending
the
Forth.
only one with the
Yep.
16 on the album or ever on
On
all of their
and the
stuff.
entire thing.
That's
It's my
insane.
favorite song. I don't know what to say.
I gave it an 11.1.
And then
I was like, it
Slow for
shouldn't be
me.
9 minutes.
Slow has a fucking 15.2. I
Oh,
fucking love Slow.
I like it. I think it's kind of all over the place.
I love it.
Uh, but it comes back around.
Also, what is it? The Krandamantia Patella thing. The ending of that song goes fucking insane, and
I
then
agree.
they're like, because it's like the
And now we chill out.
and then they'll and they have like the fuck. I think every album has like one or two sounds that just like hurt my ears to listen to,
Wild.
and it's
I didn't
like,
have any of that,
dude, the
surprisingly.
John L. If you're listening with headphones and they do like the doom, like the super low pitch note thing,
Mm.
that like scared the shit out of me the first time I listened to it. Um,
I love that part.
I think the
Okay,
Dethrone
wait.
riff is awesome as well.
That reminds me. So you don't listen to lyrics usually.
Yeah,
Did you listen and or read the lyrics
I did.
for this
Yeah, I
discography?
did.
Okay, cool. I fucking love the story of John 50. I think without it being such a strong story, it wouldn't be a very good song.
Damn. Yeah, John
Uh,
Ellis. That one. I think it's a little annoying. Like.
John Lennon. Oh, I like that part. It's so good. I yeah, side A, like I said,
I like the
really
second
fucking great.
side better.
You like it better? What?
Besides Hogwash and Boulder Dash, yeah. Or I guess what's the actual 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4? Yeah.
How
I mean, slow. I really like because
isn't that
I don't know.
isn't that on side A?
I don't even know. Maybe I mean
Yeah,
I
it's
guess
4 and 4, I believe.
I don't know. I think I actually like both sides around the same amount because I think John L is not as much as a stinker. Hogwash and Boulder Dash is definitely a stinker. But then I don't know. I love this album. I don't know
I
what else to
think
say. I think like I said, it's the perfect mix. I think I could put it on any time and enjoy it as much as I did whenever.
that's crazy to
I
me.
fucking love this album. So you can already guess my rating for it. I had it as the TBE. So
Oh my God.
that's right. I would that's where I would have it.
Sorry, my brother. Okay. Sorry about that. S tier is I can't do it. I simply cannot. Uh, I wanted to ask you what you like about diamond stuff though.
Let me get the quick refresher.
It's the very long,
Yeah. I think
very
it's just like the
empty.
and I feel like this album even has more of like a wall of sound on a lot of their songs, and I feel like they just kind of like heavy travel, and I like the riffs, and I think the singing is really good, and I like it near the end is like doon 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 when like the drumming picks up and the bass comes in more. That song is fucking awesome.
I would have had it solidly like middle of B.
Damn,
So you having it as your number one. Your number one is tough because I'm like I have everything above it.
damn.
But I'm down to put it in A tier above despair.
Okay, I'll live
Like,
with that.
is
I'll
that
live with
okay with
that. Yeah,
you?
yeah.
All right. I understand if you'd riot, but uh,
I mean, I think generally we haven't gotten to the other ones, but I'm like I really like most everything they've put out.
me too. It's not even like a disliked. It's like for me, it's like a 7.5 album, you know. But I just wish that side B
I fucking
had
love
more to
it.
bring
I
me
fucking
in.
love it.
I'm glad. All right,
Okay,
fucking Cavill
you get to
covers.
introduce this one.
Oh God, why the fuck? Actually, I know why they did this. There was a contest.
No,
I believe. What?
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, you didn't know about this?
No.
Okay, yeah. So there was a contest. I think for part of it was for charity. I know. Well, part of it definitely was for charity. The whole thing might have been for charity. Where they had people like they were like, we're gonna do 5 covers and different regions of like their fan base. So like depending on where you lived in the world, had different polling for voting to determine what songs they covered. The 5 winners were these three, Psycho Killer and
It
oh
was the
shit,
Prince song, right?
yeah, Prince song. And those aren't out on streaming because they
Yeah.
were all released as like single flexi disc
Yeah.
songs, and then they released the EP with just these three. And I think like when
We
you have
missed
that
out.
context,
We
it's
missed
less
out.
wild. Oh, I missed out. What did I
No,
miss?
no,
Oh,
we missed out
oh
on the Prince cover.
yeah. I'll probably listen to those after this, just out of
I
curiosity.
found it. It was really hard to find them though.
Damn. I think um 2 of these covers are like B or C tier. Well, and I would say one is C, one is B, and one is A for me. So overall, like it averages out probably to B tier. Um, we can talk more about the specific tracks once you say
Okay.
your piece.
I think this is very interesting, and I remember it was just like really funny just seeing this come out and being like, "What the actual fuck are they doing now?"
Yeah.
Um, I thought that was like those are so those 3 songs are so crazy to have as covers. Um, fucking King Crimson, Taylor Swift, and then fucking Captain
After
Beefheart.
B part, yeah.
I think it was funny because I remember when it came out, I was listening to it, and I'm like, "Why do I know this song?"
That
I was
was
like, why do I know
that
Moonlight on
was
Vermont? Like,
good.
is this fucking Captain Beefheart? And I looked it up, and it was. And I was like, there's no fucking way. And then what is it? At the very fucking end, they like start covering U2. Yeah. Yeah, at the very end of the song, I think it's
I don't remember that.
In the Name of Love. They're like, in the name of love, na 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 na. So they included a U2 cover at the very end of Moonlight in Vermont.
So I wondered if that was part of the original, and
No.
I went to listen, but it's not on Spotify anymore. And I was
Yeah,
like, I'm
I don't
not
think
gonna
it's
go
ever. I
look.
don't think Frownland has ever been on Spotify.
It used to be.
Oh
It's in my
damn,
liked songs,
damn.
and I listened to it years ago when I was like, "Who the fuck is like? Why is this album on so many like best of all time lists?"
Yeah,
And then I listened, and I was like, "Jesus fucking Christ!" Um, yeah, Audrey and I were listening in the car, and she was like, "Is this a Tom Waits song? Because the vocals are so like Tom Waitsy, I think."
yeah.
Isn't it? It's one band member each is covering, right? Isn't
I
this
think
one?
so. Yeah.
This one is Morgan Simpson, right?
Hmm.
Uh, yeah. So that was fun. That was enjoyable. I liked it. It's like a B on Moonlight on Vermont. Love Story. I gotta love the cover.
That's my
I love
lowest
the
rated
take
song.
on it. No.
My lowest rated song is the Love Story cover.
I really like it. It's really cute.
I don't
Uh,
like how much they changed the melody.
I feel like that like brought a lot because if it's they're Black Midi. If they just did a straightforward
I
cover
feel like
of
I would have
it,
liked
it
it
would
more.
kind of.
I feel like I would. I was like, I feel like he sing it lower because he couldn't sing it higher. You know?
Oh, that's also definitely true. He's not a very good vocalist in general, I think. Cam, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had that as a note. Like in general, any song that he's singing is usually like loses some points. At least up till
It
this point,
depends. It
all of them
depends for
did.
me, dude.
For
Slow is his best song, I think.
I'm gonna disagree, but we'll get to
Uh,
that. um, yeah. So overall, it's like it's B,
I
B
would
for
for
me.
me, I think I would have it at the top of C or the bottom of B.
Yeah, Audrey was not enjoying Love Story. She was like, "I'm glad you like it." I'm like, "No, nobody gets me. Nobody understands." I like the original too.
You're a Greep. You're a weirdo.
I am a Greep weirdo. They should have covered Radiohead. What the heck?
They've been
um,
fucked.
I think
That would have ended my world.
I'm happy with bottom of B.
Okay.
I'm good with that. What
God.
the Greep am I doing here? That doesn't rhyme, Audrey.
Okay. Onto Hellfire.
Yes, you get to introduce
So
it.
I think when I first listened to this album, there were some songs I liked, but overall I didn't like the album. Um, that was the first time though. Over the years, I've definitely come back to it, um, and I like it a lot more now. I think a part of me was like some of the theatric stuff. I was like, oh, this is a little theater kid core, um, so I didn't enjoy parts of it. But then I think a lot of it was just like I only listened to certain songs and like actually going back and like re-listening to a lot of stuff. I think for me, sometimes if I don't really like the first song, when I go on to repeat the album, I'm like, I'm not listening to this shit again. Um, and I think for me, the very first song is my least favorite song on the album. So I didn't find myself going back and listening beyond that. But genuinely, besides that first song, I think majority of the songs, except for one of them, are like bangers. So I've grown to really love this album and go back to other songs and really like a lot of them more after re-listening to it. It is also I think just like an actually fucking insane album, and I think it makes complete sense that this is what came after Cavalcade.
Was the other one that you didn't like halftime, or did you
I
ignore it?
actually halftime I just included it with the race is about to begin, and I just made them have the same
Mm,
ratings. I feel like that was kind of they were like connected. Like it starts at that and then goes into that one.
got it.
I
About to go on.
cheated a little bit there.
I mean, maybe I'm about to go off. I just didn't rate halftime it
Ah,
because it's like an interlude
yeah, yeah.
track basically. So and I realized I set up the spreadsheet in a way that doesn't break if you ignore scores. So that
Mm.
was nice. I'll probably be setting up this way in the future. But okay, I love this album so
Let's
much.
go.
The it is way more theatrical. It is so like it is the first like full I think full concept album where they really just dove into a theme and like there's recurring characters. They even bring back like references to like locations and things that happened
Did they say
in
Schlagenheim at some point?
Schlagenheim.
Yeah.
Yes, they did.
Sick
Uh,
flex.
yeah, and it is just fucking incredible. There isn't a song I don't like. I think uh, I have the same thing as you, where like if I listen to something, try and re-listen, and it starts really rough, it's hard for me to get through. Thankfully, I really like Hellfire. I think it perfectly sets the tone.
I can see that.
Um,
A little too
you
theater kid core for me though.
Yeah, it feels much. It doesn't really feel like a song so much. It feels much more like poetry
Yeah.
with like an instrumental backing that is meant to set the scene and be like, here is what we're gonna be doing on this album. And then that transition into Sugar 2, which to me was I think the second 16 out of 16 that I gave.
Damn. I think this was my second highest song.
Yeah, incredible riff. The story is so fucking like creative, and then that creativity like stays throughout the whole album. Eat Men Eat, I would say, is the best of the songs that Cam sings. Uh,
Damn. That was my second least favorite song.
yeah, I don't know. It's not. I think maybe I might be unique in my. No, it's one of their most popular
Yeah.
songs, surprisingly. But I was thinking maybe it didn't get a lot of love. No, it does, which deservedly so. I think it can be a little like dissonant and like not super cohesive, but all of the parts separately I really love. Um, yeah, Welcome to Hell, almost a perfect score, very close for me. The lyrics of it, I think this is what I really considered on these scorings to do a score break. I decided not to, but this is one of the ones where I would have given it above a 3 on
Yeah.
the
I
lyrics.
think I broke it a couple times.
Oh wow.
I don't know if anything broke it yet. Did I have anything that broke it before?
Yeah, you should check on that because that would be interesting. Story for Race is about to begin. That's the song that has all the references.
Mm.
Like, and I had never fully listened to or like read the lyrics. I tried to listen, but
Oh
it
yeah.
goes so fucking fast. It's
That
really
song's
hard
fucking
unless you read
insane.
it. But
It's
when
just
you
like
read it, it's like,
impressive in general.
whoa. Yeah, absolutely. Um, Dangerous Liaisons, I was like, I think is the
Ascending Forth, I
low
broke it.
point for me. Oh, nice. uh, that's the Dangerous Liaisons was the low point for me, and it's not even bad. It's just like it doesn't have like the punch, like something to really set it apart like every other song does. The Defense is like a really funny track. I don't know. I'm trying to think of if we've gotten to other songs where that make me laugh. I don't think so. Maybe a little bit in like on Schlagenheim, like BM or
Yeah.
Boom Boom Boom. That's a funny song. But I think this album, like he kind of starts writing with more of a sense of humor
Mm.
again, which I really love. I think he's a very funny person, and it can come through really well on the songwriting. And then 27 questions, I definitely overrated.
Yeah.
I gave it like 15.5. And then I was like listening to it again, and I'm like, it doesn't really deserve this. It's not that good, but
Yeah.
I just fucking love the theme of the song and the execution as well. Um, it's just like special to me. So I kind of broke the rating there, where like I just ignored what it deserves and gave it a better score because I like it. There is just like it's such a solid track list to me.
Um, Dangerous Liaisons. I fucking love that song actually.
Oh wow,
They have
okay.
like that one part where it kind of breaks down and almost gets like that bouncy part where it's like doom 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 kind of like in the middle of it.
Mhm.
I think that section alone kind of raises it for me. And then the defense is actually my second favorite Black Midi song. Um,
Wow, I think it's very good.
I
Yeah.
really like that one because like I think it's like more of like just kind of like beautiful sounding music and like the
Mhm.
melodies. I think there's like prostate supine, and they like goes up the second time when he does it. I'm like, that's just so good.
It has the like Frank Sinatra
Yeah,
influence very
yeah.
present for sure. It's like
Um,
sweeping, very pretty.
and then I think Still is my second favorite Cameron song.
It's also my second favorite Cameron
I
song.
really like that one a lot. I think it's good. And then I like the second half is just kind of more of like the wall of sound stuff, just like kind of moving through stuff. Um, so I think overall really love this album, and I definitely liked it a lot more, like doing it during this listen through, and I was
Nice.
like realizing some of the other songs are just like so fucking good on it. Um, and I actually had Cavalcade. When I'm looking like at the actual rankings,
Mhm.
Cavalcade was like 0.75 or like zero point 0.6, I think, higher overall.
Oh shit.
So it was like I'd still say that because I had Cavalcade as TV, and I would still have Hellfire as TB as well. Like it's like
Nice.
Cavalcade like barely pushed over it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then there's one thing I want to add. There was apparent theory with Black Midi that they were gonna have like 9 albums overall. It's kind of sad to think about, but there is this theory that they were gonna spell out Schlagenheim as like an anagram or
Oh yeah, you
Schlagenheim.
told me about that.
So Schlagenheim was the S, and
Yeah.
then Cavalcade the C, Hellfire the H. So the next one would have been L, and people were like, "Oh, it's gonna be Lumps," which ended up turning into Walk Up on the new sound. Um, but an ongoing theory that they were gonna spell it out with the album names, which would have been awesome. But that's never gonna happen now.
It'd be kind of insane if the song was called Lumps instead of Walk Up. Did the song
It
change a
originally used
lot
to
or
be
was it
called
the
Lumps.
same
It used to be
song?
called Lumps when they would play it because they played it live a
Okay.
lot.
Damn.
Because he says lumps in the middle of the song too, right?
Yeah, check your balls for lumps after they've left.
That's awesome.
Uh, but like it's just that one part, whereas the chorus
Yeah,
is walk
yeah,
up, so
yeah.
it'd be kind of like
He liked calling it lumps. Then I don't know.
that being the focal point would be pretty funny.
Yeah.
Um, so I think a solid S
Hmm.
is it. This is a solid S for me. Um, I don't know. I don't have much more to add. I think yeah, you did a,
Album's awesome.
yeah, it very much is. And I was very excited for more. I was really excited to see them live. And then tragedy struck.
I'm not even
Tragedy.
gonna lie. I was depressed for like a couple of days when they said they broke up.
Yeah.
I was like so disappointed because I feel like there's some sounds or like some artists where you listen to and you're like they just had like such a unique voice and
Yeah.
like were just like so not like important but like just had like such like crazy like songwriting and everything and like there's nothing like it at all and then to hear like that band is no longer gonna be a band. I'm like, oh, it's like, there's some artists who are like, oh, they just keep pumping out the same shit over and over again, and everybody loves it and eats it up, and they're still going, and it's just like that sucks because then I feel like they don't really add much whenever they put out new music, and I was like,
Yeah.
damn, like we're losing one of the best voices in the industry, and I was like so sad. And then like a week or two later, this motherfucker Geordie Greep is like, "Hey guys, here's a single. I have an album coming out. Black Midi is Ivor."
I remember when Isaac left Black Country New Road, I had that feeling where I was
Yeah.
like, oh, things are going to be different. And then their album came out, and I'm like, that really was such a loss. Like their new stuff is, or their latest album was very good, but it just was so, it wasn't the same. It wasn't close to the same. Um, but I was like, at least we still have Black Midi, and I re-listened to Hellfire, and then like, I don't know how much, like a couple years later, maybe, now, no more Black Midi, and it's not even like hiatus or anything. It's like it's gone.
It's Ivor.
So it was pretty sad. Uh, what is Ivor?
When he fucking announced it on an Instagram live, and he said Black Midi is Ivor, and then
Oh, is Ivor?
and then over asterisks.
So fucking funny. But then he came out with the new sound. He blessed us. uh, First with a really
Holy
great
holy.
single, Holy Holy, and I was really excited. And then Blues, and I didn't know what to think. And then I kept listening to Blues, and I think my brain broke a little bit. And I was like, this is gonna be the best. This is gonna be the best album that's ever been released. And then it came out, and it was not what I expected. And then I kept listening to it, and I haven't stopped fucking listening to it since it came out. And I'm like, wow, okay. I mean, it's one of it's maybe one of my favorite albums, I think. Period. It's so insane. This is, as much as I love Hellfire, I think it's like a solid 9 out of 10 album, and I'm still deciding if I think the new sound is a 10 or not.
Damn.
So that's where I'm at.
Yeah, I think after looking at it, I think I've listened to the album like 20 times overall. I've listened to it a lot. I feel like that's what I don't know. I really fucking love it. I also feel like I maybe have recency bias towards part of it, so I don't know. But it's like, I think looking overall everything, like with the Greep score and everything, it actually scored the highest. But a part of me is like, I don't know if I actually like it more than Cavalcade, or if I need like slightly more time with the album that's only been out like 12 days. And they also, I guess, have a fucking there's a green version of the album, there's the yellow version. The green version apparently has longer fucking songs on it. Like the Magician's like 16 minutes. The Frank Sinatra covers like doubled.
Oh,
And then when he's just like playing everything live, he uses different musicians, and it's like different
yeah,
interpretations of all the songs every
I'm
single time they like play
excited
it,
for the live
which
show.
is fucking crazy.
Uh, Context, record like half of it was recorded in like one session or a
Like
few
Sao Paulo,
sessions.
right?
Yeah, in Brazil, with like local musicians who had never heard of Geordie, but he played like some demos, and they were like, "Yeah, sure, that sounds great. Let's work together." And the fucking this is what came out, and I think the fact that half the album was recorded in a different place than the other half of the album should make it like not that, like, feel a little dissonant, but it doesn't at all. It's very like somehow thematically tied together very, very well. And I think that's uh, a lot of that is the songwriting, because every song, I think, except for the new sound, is like a vignette, is like from either from the perspective of a character or about a character. And they have such insane lives and tell such insane stories, and even though there's like the more like Latin inspired instrumentation on a lot, there's enough like weird fucking jazz and experimental rock on the Latin stuff that can tie it together with the stuff that doesn't have like bongos. And it's such a weird, like, unique fusion that's the part that I haven't decided on. It's like, does that like uniqueness, is that what's like making me love it so much, and is that the like feeding into my recency bias enough that I'm overrating it, or is it just actually that good? But I know for sure that like it's not recency bias that it's my favorite. Just like listening back to back every album, it's like it's not even like that I'm the most excited for it, because I am the most excited to re-listen to it more times. It's also just like the most pleasant, I think, to listen to as a listening experience. Um, yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't know. It's just like I feel like so much of it is like I think maybe if we didn't have like the context of the other Black Midi albums, it would definitely seem like more like crazier and be like kind of like more like over the place. But I think like listening to the other stuff, I'm like, oh, this makes sense that he's doing all this weird shit. Like you can hear like a bunch of other like the theatrics or the orchestral parts on other albums, and then I think it was even like there was something before that I think had more like Latin inspired stuff on it from some song in the discography. I swear, maybe I'm making that up, but it's like this is exactly what a fucking Geordie Greep solo album would fucking sound like. He's
Yeah.
nobody's holding him back. He's gonna do whatever the fuck he
Yeah.
wants, for better or for worse.
Only
Um,
for better. Only for better.
so much so he just fucking includes a Frank fucking Sinatra cover as the very last track of the
And it's
song,
goaded.
which is just wild to me. Actually, I think I broke the score twice on this one. I think for Jordacity, it broke on the Magician, and then Motorbike, I broke on the percussion. Because I think the
Oh
percussion
yeah.
on Motorbike was just like fucking like face melting. I'm like, it's just fucking crazy. It is fucking insane. Like the
There's a
drumming
lot of
on
face.
here is so like almost every single song. It is fucking insane. Except for the last song, which has zero drums on it. So I'm gonna stick true to my word. I gave "If You Are But a Dream" a 0 on percussion.
No, you can just delete it. You can just like not,
Oh yeah,
because
it's
it,
not included.
yeah, and then it'll like that'll give
It didn't
your
matter. It was
proper
still the
score.
highest. It was still the highest rating, even with a fucking 0 on percussion for the
That's
cover.
crazy.
So
Holy shit. Uh, yeah, for individual ratings, I have three perfect scores on it. I
Jesus
gave
Christ,
and it's not the ones I expected either. Blues was a perfect score.
Dude, Blues is so fucking good.
It's incredible. Through a War took me the longest to rate, I think, of any song,
I
because it's
didn't
a
like it
very
at
long
first.
song. Yeah, and I was like, okay, there's so much going on. Um,
I think
but
the ending is so
after I
good.
listened to it enough, I'm like, the whole thing as a concept is maybe like the most well executed of any of the tracks, because the way the instrumentation is done is like directly is part of the storytelling. And in other songs it's like, okay, the energy is there, but it's like literally telling the story through the way that like the tempo changes and the weird like switches in like style of like this guy who's fucking getting drunk off his ass to tell war stories while hallucinating his lover that gave him syphilis. And it's like, oh my god, there's so much going on, and I think it comes together fully perfectly. And then As If Waltz was also a
Oh my
perfect 16
god,
for me.
that song.
Um, it's like
It's like the
that
most
into the
beautiful
magician.
thing
I
he's
know, I
ever
was
put
like
out, and then it's like the
crying.
worst lyrics imaginable.
No,
Like,
I love the
like
lyrics.
not worse, but like like graphic and like
Yeah, yeah,
horrible in
yeah.
that sense. Like
It's so very adult. It's very like
to like the most beautiful music. It's like so fucking funny.
yes. Uh yeah, that into the magician. It's just like a, and then into If You Are But a Dream, it's just such an emotional fucking roller
God.
coaster.
Dude, the fucking magician. I
Oh,
like listened to so many of the live recordings of it because I really liked that song before the album came out, and I was like scared to see what they were gonna do with the.
yeah, what you think?
I still really like it. I think maybe there's some recordings that I feel like maybe parts or sometimes I like the live versions still more, but I think that just shows like how crazy and well of a song it is if they can have like multiple interpretations of it that I all really like. Um,
I did, since you let me know about that, I did listen to one of the live versions, and I think I think he messed up the lyrics at one point in that one, which was
the
funny.
lyrics are just like different a lot of the time with the. He worked on that song for
He
so
like
long,
repeated a line on accident, I
and he
think.
fucking when they used to play it as Black Midi, there's like that one part he's like, no, 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 maybe 3 years ago. When they
Mhm.
played it live, he actually said maybe 2 years ago. So he like also changed that because like a year had like passed.
Oh,
So it's almost like this.
that's
There's probably some more personal thoughts
wow.
on that song if he's changing the year from 2 to 3.
That's a thought that I had because some of the stuff I in one of my notes I put like who didn't hurt you because the whole premise of the song is like a lover that you never actually experienced the love of. So like someone maybe didn't hurt him, but also it's so hurt. It's such a hurt song.
Yeah.
So like I want to know like what is the life experience that could possibly fucking inspire you to write this because it's wild. Uh, and then
Even
that into if
Motorbike. Yeah.
Motorbike is like the is yeah, thank you fucking
Shanks.
Seth Evans. Shout out HMLTD. Really fucking exciting fun group and he was a perfect feature on this.
I guess he also just worked on him with the album a lot.
He produced the whole thing,
Yeah,
yeah.
and I think it was really funny because I saw one of the live performances, and he's like, "Yeah, Geordie." He was like, "He's like, no, there's one day I was talking to Shanks, and I was just like, I'm just gonna leave. I'm just gonna get away from it all." I think he was like straight up talking about like killing himself. Um,
Really? I thought he would be talking about,
I don't,
moving to Brazil. Let's decide
I don't
that.
know, but he was like, I was like, I'm gonna get on my Harley and just leave or whatever. And I'm like,
Oh,
there's
oh,
no way, fucking Greep owns a Harley. Um, but then he's like, yeah, he told that to me, and I was like, no, we're gonna make a song about it.
okay. That's
And so then
awesome.
they made the motorbike song.
Aw, damn. I was looking at some genius lyric interpretations for
Oh
this album
no,
because the
some of them are
album the lyrics
shitters.
aren't on Spotify
Yeah,
yet, and
yeah,
I
yeah.
was like, some of it I was like, what the fuck are you people talking about? And then on this one I was like, oh, okay, that's pretty helpful because the lyrics are kind of minimal on it, so it was useful to get like some
Yeah.
context. Um,
I don't know. I feel like there's so many
uh,
different genres, and like the new sound, the instrumental, like I fuck with it so hard. It's like Mario Kart music, but it's awesome.
it's a lot better than Mario Kart music. Come on.
And then like the second part where like that other guitar comes in is like down down down
Oh
down.
my god, yes.
I just the fucking like I don't even know if I've listened to any other album where the percussion was like just that crazy and good. Like there's like some like metal albums where it's like crazy, but like stylistically like where it's like not just like because metal I feel like has to be like crazier on percussion for like some of the heavier stuff, or it
We
can
gotta do a
be.
metal season eventually.
And
Because there's some artists.
oh, it's just so good. Through a War, and they have that one part. It's like do 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 do.
Yeah, yeah.
Banger.
I it's
Every
it's an
song bangs.
incredible fucking
I don't think there's
album.
a bad song on the album.
No, not even close. Like,
My least favorite was the cover, but I still enjoy it.
oh nice. I think in like out of context, I'm like, okay, it's a cover. But in the context of like closing
Yeah.
out and right after the magician, that really heightens it for
And then it
me.
goes into fucking.
Yeah, if you lose. So yeah, top of S. Fucking peak. Cannot wait for more music. And the other thing that like kind of relates to what you said about how good the draw like the percussion is on
Uh,
this, uh, and how like strongly I felt about the percussion from Schlagenheim. Like fucking Morgan Simpson solo album one, please.
oh yeah, he's been appearing on a lot of random albums. What I heard.
I believe it. He's the fucking next Zach Hill.
Next Sack Hill. God.
Uh,
All
I
right.
actually like his drumming better.
This was our Black
This
Midi and the
was
new
Black
sound.
Midi. Uh, Looking
Pretty happy
back,
with
I don't think I'd
everything.
change anything. Yeah, I think this
I
is fair.
personally, this is my ranking. This would be maybe one
Mhm.
of these two. I definitely those two are the top for me. Besides that, I
You
agree
do
with
that.
everything else.
Fair. Oh shit! I just saw the chat, and that reminds me. One other thing about the new sound. Um, I have a theory that doesn't really make sense. Um, that Bongo Season is a sequel to The Race is About to Begin, because uh, Hell on Hellfire, it's like Lieutenant Bongo is the fucking guy's
No.
name, and at the end of The Race is About to Begin, he talks about just like literally sitting and rotting at the racetrack and never moving, and then Bongo Season is about him like sitting in the corner and watching like rats fucking kill each other.
Oh my god.
So what if, that's my personal headcanon. I like the
Bongo
lore.
season. They played that song's like 10 minutes when they play it live.
Uh, Valid. It's fun.
They make it 5 times longer. That's awesome.
I'm so fucking excited to go to the live show. May.
Crazy.
Okay, now I have nothing else.
All right. The Black Midi, Geordie Greep, the best ever. This is like the
Yay!
first time where every single album was in like S and A.
True.
I feel that's why I almost felt like we needed to have the other stuff because it's like
Yeah,
all of them
otherwise,
are great and you just can't even.
yeah. There's
It
a
would be
world
like
where
it
it's
would be like
four
one,
S's.
two, three, four. You know, like it wouldn't
Yeah,
just be S and A. So I'm glad we were able to include the singles.
absolutely. All right, is it time for me to reveal
I'm so
my pick?
fucking scared. You said there were 19 albums, dude.
Yeah, so I didn't know
This is
that,
our second
but I
longest
feel like
one.
I'm locked in. I feel
This is
like
our
I'm locked
second
in.
longest one after King is.
So, everyone strap the fuck in. It's gonna be a wild next month.
Oh.
So this is an artist who I've listened to, I think two of their albums. One is like one of their first, and one
Only
of them
two?
came out very recently. And they just came out with an album last month, and it was like I listened to the singles for it. It was very good. They have a really cool style that I think is a really good transition after Black Midi. And one of the reasons I picked them is because like when Spotify was auto playing after an album, it kept
Oh
playing their
no.
stuff. And I'm like, okay, this is going to be interesting. Oh, I've listened to three of their albums actually, because they have a cover album that I think you've probably heard too.
Oh.
Do you want to guess?
Is it the Flaming Lips?
No, I thought about the Flaming Lips.
I'm
The
clueless. I'm
artist
clueless.
is the artist is Shoo Shoo,
Oh, fuck!
and I think it might be like depending on
Oh,
how it goes. This might have to be the end of the
oh
experimental season
God.
because it's gonna be a long
Oh
ride.
no.
But I've always wanted to listen to them more, get into their
I've
stuff.
always seen this
So,
name thrown around. I haven't listened to a single thing.
oh, I'm
And
so
I
excited.
was always like, I'll probably be fine never listening to this artist.
I cannot wait for you to listen to fucking Girl with Basket of Fruit. You're gonna
Oh
shit yourself.
God. Oh no. How do
But
you
they
even
have some
spell
really
it?
enjoyable stuff. Xiu. So that's gonna be
Frosty the Snowman latest
it's really
single.
funny they came out with a Christmas song. It's pretty good too.
Why did it come out? Why did it come out 6 days ago?
I don't know. They're insane. I don't understand them, and I'm so fucking excited. Um, so like, yeah, I enjoy being subjected to this. And we also have another special event to announce.
Oh yeah.
Do you want to?
So we decided we're gonna. So just, I don't know. That's gonna be like what, like 4
What?
episodes maybe.
Yeah, we'll split it up. We'll decide after the stream how we're gonna split it up.
So we'll
So
be
in
doing that
between,
for the rest of the year probably. But we're gonna have a special Christmas special at the end of the year. We're gonna do was it a bracket ranking of all of the Weezer songs. So we're taking it back to where we began. Um, and we're gonna have a special guest join us,
yes.
the founder of the Weezer Club at college. I think there was no other club in any college that had a Weezer Club, as far as I know of. So some sick fuck would have had to go and do that and create events and everything for it. Um, we're gonna have Krish join us for a Merry Christmas.
A Merry Weezer Christmas
God,
to do a bracket ranking of every Weezer song. And it might be the worst thing we've ever done,
that's
but it
okay. We need the
also might
bad
be the best.
content.
We do need some more bad content, and it'll be pretty funny. So look forward to that in like 2 months.
We have 7 viewers right now. That might be our peak.
Oh, it went down.
Oh, right
Someone
after I bring
misclicked.
that up,
Someone misclicked.
Krish
All right.
Weezer from Weezer Club.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm excited.
Oh God.
All right. I think that brings us to the end of
All
the
right.
stream.
Thank you guys for tuning in. We didn't give an
Thanks
intro,
everyone.
but that's okay. We don't need an intro. Catch you guys later.
Bye.